The Rams are in on both Stephon Gilmore and Honey Badger, all pros in the secondary. Now, the Rams already pay top of the market for a quarterback, a defensive tackle, a corner, a pass rusher. Cooper Kupp's redoing his deal, so he'll be near top of the market. They also went out and paid for Allen Robinson and Bobby Wagner, not top of the market, but $10 million for a middle linebacker. All very key positions. They know what they're doing. They pay the right positions. The Chicago Bears couldn't afford to keep Allen Robinson, and they don't pay their quarterback. And they don't pay two receivers that. And they don't pay a corner that. The Rams are playing a different level upstairs. You just can't see it. They're just better upstairs. Well, their owner's richer. Folks, it's a hard cap. Okay, it's a hard... Even the Raiders, who have the poorest owner, just gave Derek Carr $1 zillion and Devontae Adams $1 zillion and Chandler Jones $1 zillion. That's the poorest franchise in the league. The Raiders have the poorest owner. The Jags, nobody goes to their games. They spent $250 million. A lot of it guaranteed in free agency. You just don't see the front offices. Think about the New York Giants. Since Sean McVay has been with the Rams, he's never had a first-round pick. 0. In fewer years, 5, the Giants have had 7 and 3 top 10 picks. They have 0 elite players. Rams have never had a first-round pick. They got great players all over the place. 14 of the 22 Rams starters have been drafted and developed. That's what I say about the Seahawks. The Seahawks don't have first-round picks as very much now they do after the trade, but they just can't draft. They've had 6 lousy drafts in a row. In that time, if you look at the last several years, the Seahawks on a bad roster, I think in the last 4 drafts, have 3 starters. The Rams on a Super Bowl roster in the last 3 or 4 drafts have 8 starters. So, you can't see Apple being worth 10 times more than Samsung. They are really good operationally. You just can't see it. You just see the phone. Well, a lot of people like the Samsung phone more. Is that you can go to your Reddit board in your board and talk about Stan Kroenke's richer and meh. The Rams are better run than your franchise. Sorry, they are. The Giants, by the way, I saw this stat the other day. They have the most expensive wide receiver room in 2022. The Giants will. They have the fewest touchdowns by a wide receiver room in 2021. Ain't just the quarterbacks. Not just the stuff you can see. Yeah, Stafford's better. We know that. But there is a big, big gap. The fact the Bears can't afford Allen Robinson, and the Rams not only could afford him, they're going to add 2 more pieces potentially. Stephon Gilmore, they already added Bobby Wagner. Last year they won a Super Bowl paying 2 quarterbacks. Goff and Detroit's salary and Stafford. Bears don't pay 1. But make excuses for your lousy executives. But it's just, we say this all the time. You can see there's like 12 really good quarterbacks in the league, 12, 13. There may be 8 great front offices. Maybe there's 12. But let me tell you something. There's some bad owners, terrible GMs, lousy scouting services. I mean, the Giants have had 7 first-round picks in the last 5 years, 3 top 10. Got no players. I got no players. Hold on. Just threw something away I wanted. Antoine Walker, my guy, joining us live.
Again on April 18th.
It will. Who will be there?
Lots of guys will be there. Who will not be there is Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, that's interesting. They don't have any receivers. You want to build some trust. He won't be there. Great.
He's reportedly expected to skip voluntary meetings and workouts this spring. Okay. So these are not the mandatory ones. Remember, he skipped the mandatory ones last year. So when they draft 2 wide receivers, and they drafted Amari Rodgers last year, instead of building trust with them, as Tom Brady is getting on the phone trying to recruit receivers, Aaron will be in Hollywood or Malibu? Well, I think he was in Hawaii last year.
Hawaii, my bad. Hosting Jeopardy? I forgot. I lost track.
He is expected to be back for minicamp in June.
Oh, June. Oh, okay.
So the offseason program, phase 1 is team meetings, strength and conditioning, physical rehab, and organized teams activities, which begin in May, can include non-contact practices and voluntary veteran minicamp. So this is all the voluntary stuff. And OTAs begin May 23rd. And training camp, the mandatory minicamp is June 7th through 9th, which is a month out from training camp. Look, this is not who Aaron is. And, Tom Brady skips these. A lot of guys skip the voluntary ones,
well, a lot of guys,
when you're a veteran.
A lot of guys
don't win back-to-back MVPs and then get knocked in the first round of the playoffs to a wild card team at home.
A lot of guys don't have the worst receiving core in the league. That's just my opinion. But, what do I know?
Look, Aaron's entitled to do whatever he wants. I do think
the messaging's not great.
At some point or another, we can stop talking about him as somebody who is interested in winning championships.
That's right. I mean, listen.
All is fair, right? You are entitled to do whatever it is that you like to do.
Yeah.
And the reaction to whatever it is you like to do is also fair.
Yes, absolutely.
There is something in that. I don't know that he has to be at voluntary minicamp, whether that's going to change things or not. Well, but I do know that the end of your season was a disaster.
By the way, I don't think Matt Stafford does.
No, most veteran quarterbacks are not at voluntary
because he's got Cooper Kupp, the same tight ends back. He's got his number 3 back.
Oh, Matthew Stafford also just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, so but he'll probably be at camp because they have Allen Robinson. He wants to get some throws in. But you know what? Listen, as America's honesty broker, the country understands my fight for truth in journalism, except in Milwaukee, where I'm reportedly anti-Aaron Rodgers because I say things like his messaging's terrible and it feels like it's always, hey, you need me, I know it, I'll see you when the season starts. Just my interpretation.
Once again, I don't have a problem with him skipping minicamp.
Right.
I think the season ended
poorly.
I think it was a cataclysmic disaster. And we did not emphasize how badly the season ended. What was the difference between how the Cowboys season ended and the Packers season ended? But we gave the Cowboys, we were to fire the coach, and it's a disaster, and Dak's overpaid. The Packers were the number 1 seed in the NFC and had back-to-back MVP as their quarterback. And
everybody's
and
all
lost
good.
At home in their first playoff game to the wild card
with
team.
a huge weather advantage over moderate and warm weather teams.
Yeah, so I mean, it's fine. You don't have to go to minicamp. I just don't. I'm also entitled to think that you're not a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, well, I totally agree with that. Now, that could change if they get Terry McLaurin from Washington and draft one of the top 5 receivers. I could change my mind.
There's still time.
That's good stuff. Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Line News.
The burden of being America's honesty broker and the fight for justice and journalism every day, it is a lot, but I'm here for it. Hustler Turf is the brand lawn care professionals have trusted for years when it comes to premium zero-turn mowers, okay? That's what they do, premium zero-turn mowers. Now, they got a bunch of mowers for, like, Weekend Joes, guys like me, residential mowers, full lineup of those. But there are a lot of lawnmower brands in America. They're all fine. Hustler Turf's not trying to do fine. It's a different brand, okay? They do high-performance steering. Got some acreage? It's your brand. Heavy-duty frame construction. Precision cut quality. Lots of testing. Their engineers design it so you can't break it, I can't break it. 6.5 decades of building lawnmowers. They know what they do. That's why they have their own dealers, 1,400 nationwide. You buy your Hustler Turf mower there, you get your replacement parts if you need them there, and you get it serviced there. You're not going to a big box retailer. It is a full-time Hustler Turf dealer. HustlerTurf.com. To a 3-year contract extension. It's $120 million. It's going to be about $40 million per, which is probably more than I'd love to pay him. But this is the economy today of the NFL. We got wide receivers making $30 million. Okay, so a great wide receiver 3 years ago made 8. Here's my thing. I like Derek Carr more than everybody else because I'm a believer. Do you carry and are not carried? So to me, what Josh McDaniels is telling you, the first time I went to Denver as a head coach, I had to tear it down and tried to tear it down, and it was a disaster. I'm not tearing down anything. Derek Carr's a top quarterback. I'm keeping him. So that's what the Raiders and Josh McDaniel are telling you. Like, we don't need to tear anything down. I can win a Super Bowl with Derek Carr. And I believe that's true. I've had a theory for years in the NFL. You have to have a top 12 quarterback in the NFL to win a Super Bowl. Not just get there. Jared Goff got there. to win a Super Bowl, because the two hardest games of the year are your conference championship and the Super Bowl. So don't tell me you get there. You'll win it. There are 12 guys in the NFL in no particular order. I think we know who's higher and lower. Here's my 12. Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Brady, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Joe Burrow, Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson. Now, Carr may be closer to 12 than 2. And you're saying, where's Dak? Where's Kirk Cousins? Well, I've always said Dak and Kirk Cousins need really special players